Greetings YouTube! Today we're going to be looking at an essential mod for 0AD. It's the AutoCiv Gameplay Enhancer. If you're new to using mods in 0AD, fear not. Check out the video description for crash courses in how to install mods for your platform that you're running the game on and get stuck in. So, AutoCiv, this is the very first mod I ever installed for 0AD, and I appreciate quite a lot of people already have it, and I will cover the basic features that are very well known. But despite having it in place for quite a while, I'm very embarrassed to say that there are a few extremely useful features that I had missed entirely. I'll show you those as we go along. But to start with, the principal reason I installed it after being berated by a very impatient player on the game lobby while setting up players and civs for a multiplayer game is the auto-assign civilization function. You just get your players to type in the name of the civilization they want, and barring the most creative of typos, bang, it assigns them that civ immediately. Magic. No more narky comments about how slow you're being from the impatient player who's demanded 17 times inside 5 nanoseconds that he wants to be the damn Carthaginians. You know who you are. And previously, that was, well, enough for me. I went happily back to being terrible at 0AD, none the wiser of all the other things this mod could actually do. Here's a massive, possibly game-changing feature for you. Auto-train. Yes indeed, select a building from which you can train units, press Alt and Q, then queue up a unit. As if by some dark magic, once that unit pops out, the building queues up another one, ad infinitum, without you having to do anything. No more forgetting to train whilst you fend off an early rush or get distracted with your general microing or macroing. I mean, seriously, this is massive. You ever watched a replay and it seems your opponent is just generating population with consummate ease? Damn it, this is how they're achieving that. Get with the program, start using this feature, and you too can finally churn out units like there's no tomorrow. Be aware though that it's stupidly easy to get pop capped, even easier than normal, trust me. And if you don't have the requisite resources for the units you want, your building will just sit there idle until you do. It's quite important to know how to switch it off too, which is a simple matter of killing the current queue of units and pressing Alt and W. If you overdo your quotas of troops, it's very possible that you won't build up enough resources for producing essential buildings or to phase up, and you have to keep track on where your automatically created units are actually going, in case you start sending them to cleared wood lines or something and they just end up dossing around idly. Nobody wants that. But overall, this is massive. You can automatically train single units, multiples, and if used with a group selection of buildings, you can train vast numbers incredibly quickly across them all. 1 million actions per minute? My arse. The pros are using auto-train, be sure of it. AutoCiv has many other features, but I've so far found them somewhat less useful, but your mileage may vary. If you're a general RTS aficionado, then you'll probably welcome pressing the F4 key to access the Hotkey Editing screen. Pretty much every action in the game can have a custom hotkey or combination of keys assigned to it. Creating units, setting formations, you name it, you can mess with it. This is, I think, perhaps one for the StarCraft 2 players. They love their hotkeys. In practice, there are some pitfalls. Assign your keys without too much thought, and you may find that you've completely borked some existing keyboard functionality of the game. I experimented with assigning the H key for building houses and realised I'd broken the built-in halt stop command. So instead of stopping and halting, everyone I'd selected literally stopped what they were doing and waited until I placed a house. I ended up with some kind of bastardized fusion of the two and had to set it back. With careful planning, you can get this right, but it needs practice and a pretty good memory for what you've assigned. As I said, very natural and experienced RTS players will find this easy. Ordinary mortals like myself, well, let's say it's still a work in progress. It's also very much worth noting that other mods that rely on key combinations will almost certainly break in strange and interesting ways if you cause a clash of shortcuts. Use with care. Aside from those very interesting features, AutoCiv also has a whole bunch of stuff for lobby enhancement, like resizing the fields and opening URL links. In game setups, you can customize population and resource limits and map sizes in some pretty bizarre ways, but all of these are done by keyboard entry, and I find that kind of thing a little bit tiresome, but you may love it. So if that's your bag, well, go knock yourself out. I got quite excited about APM, or the actions per minute counter and chart. You have to get quite hands-on and change a setting in the config file to activate this, but the results were, well, a little disappointing. You get a counter and this very interesting looking line graph showing an average of the APM for the game, but truly, what use is that? I was kind of hoping for something that reflected my personal actions per minute while I was playing, and maybe one that showed each individual player's actions per minute during a replay. I feel this would be an essential analytical tool to see who was really sort of performing well. Maybe it would be best served as a stat in the post-game summary charts, but sadly this isn't it. There is also this mini-map expander, which I feel is a bit of a novelty. It looks good, but personally I don't feel I need it, as I can see the mini-map just fine usually. Possibly it might be useful as an accessibility aid, I don't know. What I do know is that it absolutely conflicts with the FGOD mod that I use for my commentaries, as the key combo that expands the map also switches off the player's stats overlay. Ah well. Anyways, I've linked every page I could find detailing all the functionality of the AutoCiv game enhancer, so you can fully explore its feature set for yourself. See the video description for details, and let me know if this has been of any use to you in the comments. And please do suggest other mods you'd like me to cover. I expect to go through most of the common ones first, but give it a few episodes and I should be up to the more experimental ones, and then things should get a lot more interesting. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a comment, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon to be notified of future episodes. If you'd like one of your matches featured on the show, see the video description of how you can submit your replays. And if you can't wait for the next episode, then why not check out these playlists in the end titles for more replays, commentary, and tutorials on 0AD Newbie Rush. I'll see you in the next video.